Hi, I'm Frank Markovich, and this is an event called West Side Reunion. It started about 35 years ago. I'm the third person that's run it. Originally, it was in Glenn Tyer's garage, basically. He had a shop, and then we moved to various locations, including the Elks Club here in Sonora, and now we're at the Sonora Senior Center. And what the event entails is it's people that are interested in logging in Westside lumber, in the Sierra Railroad, Pickering, etc., railroads of this era, Empire. And we have presentations, usually 4 to 5 presentations, all dealing with, in one way or another, that area and with modeling that area. Today we have 5 presentations, 2 by a guy named Jim Zake, who's an expert in forestry management. He'll talk about the history of logging in the West. And we have Jeff Johnson, who will talk a little bit about modeling in this area. We have a vendor room with approximately 20 tables this year, and we have door prizes, a raffle, and this year we're giving out a coin from Westside and Cherry Valley. I acquired quite a few coins, and people are always interested in getting that.
Okay, so you want 7? Yes, please. Okay, so $5. 1.
I think might be the big screen. I thought that was my first one. I think this one might be a little. I think I did this around 13. So the 13 is old. That's 14.
So any vintage photos and such we have here are kind of few and far between, although they do start coming out of the woodwork now and then. The longer I've been doing research.
Hi, I'm John Zock, fundraising for the new nonprofit, the Tuolumne Historical Railroad Association. That association is a nonprofit, and it's designed to help supplement what the Sacramento Foundation can do. We're reaching out to not just Sierra Road, but Pickering, West Side, and all the other railroads that came in through Tuolumne County. The West Side show has been great. I've been coming probably since early 2000s when John Swigert still was running it. It's always been very interesting. You always can find good items to find. You think, oh, I got everything I need. No, you'll find something, photographs or whatever else. So it's always, and the quality of the work of some of the modelers are just fantastic. And it's a great show to come. There's a lot of good programs focusing on the West Side strictly. Our seminar tomorrow will focus on some of the other railroads, including the Sierra.
I'm Dave Connery, and I'm an attendee here at the West Side Reunion. This is a wonderful activity that's gone back a number of years. It started actually as a reunion of ex-West Side employees, and in the early days when the activity was held at the Memorial Center in Tuolumne City, a number of retired West Side employees would attend, and that was kind of special. And they would often sit around and tell stories about life on the West Side. I was really attracted to the West Side as I moved to the West and found both a knowledge of narrow gauge and of logging. I found the West Side Reunion a particularly useful activity, and I've met several friends through the West Side Reunion, a number of people who are still here, and particularly John Zack and Glenn Sutherland. Both I met both of them physically, although I knew of them at the time. I met both of them here at West Side Reunions, and that's grown into a kind of a lifelong friendship with them, and is the beginnings of what became the Sierra Seminar today. So it's a very low pressure opportunity to learn about logging and railroads here in Tuolumne County. There's a very nice vendor show. More than anything else, it's meeting all the people you may only see once or twice a year, maybe even not that often, and really some fine folks. So I think everybody who comes really values that special social aspect to the event.
My name's Fran Foley. I'm from Newark, California, San Francisco Bay Area. This is my first time at Westside Reunion, and I'm really excited to be here. My time backpacking and such in the Sierra is really what brought me into Sierra railroading. I'm looking forward to everything going on here. There's some great clinics. So
On that model are separate pieces. They're like you breathe on them and they like.
My name's Scott Inman. I'm excited to be here at the Westside Reunion. I'm representing the Southern Pacific Railroad History Center at the event today, and we're just proud to be preserving some of the legacy of logging railroads in Northern California, especially the Westside Lumber Company, which was the last 3-foot logging operation in this part of the country. And I've come to love the Westside, not only because it lasted so long, but because the equipment and the legacy is so important to remember, to share, and to preserve. And so I'm just excited to be here today.
My name is Patrick Michael Kernan, and I'm a railroad artist and a railroad interested hobbyist. I've been coming to the West Side Railroad Logging Modelers convention here, symposium, ever since the very beginning. I knew Glenn Tyra, who lived in Tuolumne City, who started the event, who was very much a fan of the West Side Lumber Company, as well as I was, and he got me interested in coming over to his house and working on some of the old West Side equipment, which he had a little over, I think it was about an acre of property there, and then he had bought a lot of the old West Side equipment, and we started laying some of the rail. I'm interested in logging railroads and local history. Also, I'm an oil painter. I've been painting pictures of oil paintings of railroads since I've been about 14 years old. Right here is a painting I painted when I was 14 years old. And right down below here is a painting I just completed, which is part of my calendar. And you can see that things have changed a little bit over the years. I'm here sharing today my current calendar, which features Pickering Lumber Company. And this is near the peeled onion. And I painted this from an old photograph. And I'm an oil painter. And I'm very much interested in logging history. As you can see here, this is the Yosemite Lumber Company number 4. Back in the late 1990s, I started the Sierra Nevada Logging Museum, which is on Highway 4, and this is one of the locomotives that I helped collect for the museum. So I'm here today to celebrate our local history, and people should come out to this event because there's so much to learn about old technology, new technology, plus it's fun. There's a lot of model railroaders here. I personally have a live steam railroad at my ranch, and there's some of us very much involved in full-size railroading. I'm also a board of director of the new Tuolumne County Railroad Historical Society, which we're working on doing some excursions on the Sierra Railroad, working with Railtown, and I'm also involved with recreating an interpretive museum at Soap Creek Logging Camp to preserve some of the old history. It's a great festival to come to, and there's so much history to learn about.
It's halfway through West Side Reunion. Everybody's having a good time. Vendors are happy. We've had 2 clinics so far, presentations that both went over well. And we're just gotten back from lunch and ready for 2 more presentations and more time in the vendor room. We will have the contest results, door prizes, and raffle yet to do.
Hi, I'm Jeff Johnston. I drove down from Eugene, Oregon, about a 10-hour drive with my wife Pam, who is also a skilled modeler, to attend the Sonora West Side Reunion Convention. We've been coming every year for, 15 years or so approximately, and we come to this event because it's a gathering of like-minded souls, people who are also interested in logging and modeling logging railroad matters. And you meet some of the nicest people at these events. You see some fantastic models because this involves an awful lot more, scratch building and craftsman type work. So the models tend to be a little bit above the average level. And that's something that appeals to us. And of course, we always enter the contest. And that, and then visiting the local sites around Sonora here, it just makes it a really good event to visit. My wife Pam and I also host an event every year. It's called the Pacific Model Loggers Congress. Our event is very similar, except we are kind of northwest oriented because it takes place up in Elsie, Oregon, which is west of Portland. And it's a fun event. We've been going along at it a while, and we draw a very similar crowd, and we go for the same reason, because we love it and people seem to enjoy it.
Hey, I'm Pam Berrien Johnston from Eugene, Oregon. I like these kinds of events. They have a lot of different clinics for giving you tips on modeling. I especially love the history of this particular West Side reunion. I had a neighbor that worked for Pickering, and that was just another extra tie-in to this reunion. We had been coming to this reunion before I knew my neighbor worked for Pickering. And actually, one of the years we brought our neighbor here, and it was very special because there were a lot of old timers here who my neighbor knew. I did bring a model. It's a flat car that has a lot of different things on it. It's got some generators and it has a steam donkey parts. And I like doing the modeling because it reminds me, kind of keeps my dad's memory alive. My dad worked his whole life for Southern Pacific and retired out of the yards in Sacramento. So the modeling is especially fun, and on all of our early models, my son just wanted to pick out an animal to put on every model we did, or dioramas. So we'd be at the hobby store and we'd pick out a dog or a cat, and this particular, I just kind of kept doing that. So this particular model in the flatbed, I added a white kitty cat, and then there's a dog sitting by one of the crates, and it just kind of makes it real.
Hi, my name is John Hamilton, and this is a great show. This is a great opportunity for people who are interested in Westside logging and logging generally and mining to come and get together and go to clinics. And this is historically a long-running event. I can tell you, as the chairman of O-Scale West, this is a very positive attribute to the model railroading societies. So I hope you come to the next one.
The West Side reunion is wrapping down. Vendors are beginning to take their materials that they had for sale out. Contest is over. We had 7 excellent models that won prizes, and then another half a dozen show and tell. We gave away over 40 door prizes. We had a raffle with 30-something items in it. And we had 4 great clinics. We had Joe Piazza modeling trucks in West Side in 3D, using a 3D printer and everything it took to do it. We had Craig Trabuzzi, who did a clinic on developing a West Side sawmill model. It was fantastic. We had Jim Zeke, who's a forest expert, talk about the history and what's going on with forestry, and Jeff Johnson touring the SPL line, and he's done that and he's updated. It's a very excellent clinic we're seeing. In addition to all of that, we've had some great fellowship. A lot of people just getting along, having a good time. We haven't been able to meet, obviously, for 2.5, 3 years, and people had a good time. We had over 75 people, and tomorrow we'll be meeting for the Sierra Seminar. And we have a website, West Side Reunion, and you can go there and get more information. We also have a Facebook group, West Side Facebook group. And if you're some of the people that are on Groups.io, we post on the various logging Groups.io and the PCR NMRA Groups.io. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you for one of the future West Side reunions, and keep modeling.
Thank you.